I feel in the face of all the problems in the world impotent, and why I somehow cannot manage to transform I. Now here we get to the real problem, because we're always telling each other that we should be different. Now I'm not going to tell you that tonight. Why not? Because I know you can't. Nor can I. That may sound depressing, but I'll tell you it isn't. It's very hard. But everybody, you see, who is at all sensitive and awake to their own problems and human problems is trying to change himself. We know we can't change the world unless we change ourselves. So when we are aware of the ego I, we are aware of this chronic tension inside ourselves. And that's not us. It's a futile tension. So when we get the illusion, the image of ourselves, married to a futile tension, you've got an illusion married to a futility. And then you wonder why I can't do anything.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's update. We need to go over these higher high we've recently seen on Bitcoin and what exactly it might mean for the upcoming week. So, I'm sure plenty of people are drawing this trend line right now. I'm assuming they're talking about a rising wedge. It's probable. It's really obvious. It's going up. Well, I don't trust it. Why? Well, I also didn't trust this bull flag over here. All right. What is this? This is just a textbook bull flag. Okay, let's draw it out. So, what happened? We had a compressing price range. Like so. And then price broke out to the upside. Hurrah! Time for the continuation of trend. We retest the breakout point, the breakout trend line, and we see trend continuation. Goodness gracious, wouldn't we want to see a higher high? Too bad we're actually going below the bear flag. Or below the bull flag, excuse me. So, why even bother if you can have the most painted textbook symbol? Have the breakout, have it retested, and then the trade fails. And then immediately goes the way you originally thought it would. So, that happens all the time in Bitcoin, like all the time. All the time. And it's something you really need to bet on. Alright, so I'm going to draw this trend line again. I'm going to give you a hint. People are shorting this. People want to short this. So where are their stop losses? Why, their stop losses are right here. Goodness gracious. So, tried and true like Bitcoin is, would it not make sense that in this textbook rising wedge, that we would... Mosquito got in here. God damn it. That was my opportunity to kill it, but I don't want to, like, leave in the middle of this idea. Anyway. people are going to expect a test of this value and then a retrace, and then, oh, it's just going to compress nice and good, and then it'll drop, right? Sorry. We're probably going to see a volatility pop above that value, right? Because upward trend is defined. Scoop up all these stop losses and then do what everybody think it's going to do, all right? How often do you hear, oh, I was right, I just wasn't able to stay in the trade? Yeah, that's because the people who drive the market account for that. They spoon feed you predictable information, like breakout patterns, so they can identify where your liquidity is, scoop it up, and then make it do what they want. It's ridiculous. It kind of reminds me of the British knife amnesty program they had a while back. They had these ugly boxes with the Cookie Monster on it, and knives are illegal in Britain. Stay safe, kids. And they put out cardboard boxes, like literal cardboard boxes on the street with a little slot. It said, oh, it's okay, you can turn your knives in here with no problem. Lo and behold, after thousands of knives were put in, the boxes were stolen. It was picked up. Hey, thousands of free knives for the criminals just laying on the streets, unprotected in a cardboard box. All right? That's what your stop loss is. When you use a breakout pattern that's super obvious, you're saying, hey, everyone is a nice, trustworthy citizen of Britain, and nobody's ever going to use a knife. So, this is your knife box. You come along and you deposit your knives here, and then, well, smart money, or quote-unquote, the criminals come along, and they scoop up all your weapons, and you say, who could have predicted this? So, really, guys, these are things you need to expect. All right? You cannot trade pretending that it's a perfect world. It's not going to work out. Okay? You need to account for bad things happening. And breakout patterns are just a way for you to expect for bad things to happen. So, with that in mind, let's actually go over the mathematical analysis of this chart, shall we? So, as far as the daily chart goes, higher high's a little weird here. I'm going to be honest. And I'll show you why. We're going to load up the VLX chart here. Okie doke. We're going to go to the weekly chart. Switch to a logarithmic scale, which is going to break everything. And then we're going to pull it all back in. And then we're going to adjust this to default values. Beautiful. So, what are we looking at? I should have a chart template just saved as this right here, because I talk about it a lot. Okay. So what are we seeing? We had our tight accumulation period, our break of the weekly 50 MA, which happened here, right? Accumulation period, break of the weekly 50. Parabola, initial retest, and then a compressing tight flag, like so. So, parabola, compressing tight flag, like so. Which, honestly, higher highs are still technically possible as long as we don't see any true net expansion to the upside on this kind of time frame. Right, and what's interesting is we get the identical 3-wave PM readings in each location. It's just bizarre. I'll show you. So, we have this huge red plume here from the previous bull run, right? In each instance. And what's even cooler is this little red dot here is the downward expansion after the initial compressionary period. So, right, there was the compressionary period, then the downward expansion here generated this piece of mass, and the downward expansion here generated this piece of mass, which led to a compressionary period, which allowed the shedding of the volatility overhead, in each instance, like so. And now we're actually getting the identical readings where we have this potential energy radiating through and this initial expansion right here. And this initial expansion right here. It's identical. It's like exactly identical. Haha. So, what do we see? The compression of this short-term period, and theoretically the compression of this short-term period. So, just so you guys have some reference for bull runs, we had 1 hops, 2 hops, and then the 3rd hop is that led to the true net expansion. Since we're doing this play-by-play so far, this is the first hop, this is the first hop, followed by a compressionary period. Then there's the second hop, which is this expansion right here. So let's take a look to the right of the chart, which people rarely do for some reason. The initial hop, followed by compression, secondary hop, followed by compression, and then true net expansion. Right, so we got a compressionary period, expansion, compressionary period, and then the bull run. Right, and previously it took 200 days. Interestingly enough, this current trend on Bitcoin, or rather the current market bottom this year, took a far shorter time than the previous market bottom. So why is the logarithmic scale, logarithmic trend accelerating? I don't know. Who does? You know, if you're getting logarithmic growth, you expect each cycle to take longer than the previous. This is happening faster than the previous, and that's bizarre. So, with that in mind, that's it. Oh, I need to talk about the micro time frames, BTC, USD. Let's take a look. We want to take a look at the 4-hour chart. We're going to take it off logarithmic. We're going to snap. Good. 1-hour chart. Let's do this. Let's define trend as defined by the 1-hour chart. Okay? Current longest overexpanded period is currently 250. So, we're going to load up the 250 band here for the longest overexpanded period. 250, 25, 250, 25. We want to set this to custom. That'll do it. This is our current trend on Bitcoin. As long as we're above this line, oh, that is poorly drawn. This line right here, Bitcoin is technically in a state of defined trend. When this breaks, trend is over, and then we can expect another tight compressionary period. Similar to what we saw on the 4-hour chart right here. It was 225, so I'm not going to adjust it because it's pretty much the same thing. All right, we have this nice defined trend. We broke the pivot. We traded laterally as defined by that period until it went below the 0.7 value, which allowed for the resumption of trend. So, same thing's going to happen when this pivot on the 1-hour chart breaks. When it breaks, we're going to see compression, and then who knows, right? We have the defined pivot. Trend is up. You know, when we re-enter the band, you can short. Until then, stay safe. Don't use too much leverage. It has been a pleasure. I'll talk to you, TradingView folks, tomorrow. Okay. How we doing? Hey, good viewership. And we got no comments at all. Hi, folks. Give me what you want me to look at. Wow, I am super oversaturated. I did not realize that. Okay. Well, I'm gonna get some water because I didn't get any glasses of water today. Let's just turn that saturation down, maybe. Screw it. Looks good from up here, and my lighting's uneven. Filters. Color correction. Turn up the gamma. That'll do. I'm gonna be right back. Oh. Okie doke. Let's see if there's any comments. Hi. Okay. Hi. How does this look? Actually, this is super cyclical. You could actually make some serious money trading this chart. This is really good. Oh my god. I'm going to load up ACAT just to see what happens, because this is looking to be a super predictable chart. Watch this. Okay, invite onlys, ACAT, 14 to 600. We're gonna actually let this load. I know this was like a joke, but I'm impressed by this chart. That loaded quickly. I forgot to turn on. This here particularly sticks out. This range probably needs the extra standard deviations around it. It's interesting to look at, though. Alrighty, I'm going to look at Bitcoin Diamond. Never mind, no, I'm not. I should probably mess with this. Something this volatile? My god. What a mess. Look at this range. This is a 200% range. It's just so volatile. Oh, funny fact. I was bag holding a coin called eBoost. And it spiked 3,000% because it got listed on Binance Dex, and I had a huge bag of it on, and by huge I mean a couple $100. That's what I consider huge for a shitcoin. On Bittrex, and Bittrex delisted it, and it essentially went to a single cent. So it goes up to $1 on Binance Dex, and my sell order didn't hit because Bittrex delisted it, and there was nobody to sell to. So, also there's a 70% spread on the price on Binance Dex, so it's not, doesn't really mean anything because there's no buyers. So, you know, I just thought it was pretty funny. What's happening with the Link? Link is in a parabolic trend that I can't define because it's super choppy and it's a lot of FOMO. So, I don't want to TA this coin. I'm going to drink my kava, though. Oh. How unpleasant. I guess you can try to define upward trend based on upward expansion on the micro time frames, but other than that, I don't want to try. Because there was this comment, what's happening with Link. FBTC on the daily already did that. Check the comments one last time. If there's nothing new, I'm leaving. Matic, gotcha. If there's no new comments when I next check, when I'm done with Matic, the stream is over. That's an ultimatum. This is a cool chart. It's actually pretty impressive. Dude, if we can... Man. I wish we had a plume of mass on this. Because then we could define the compressionary range, and that would be big. We could try a bullish mean inversion here on the 1 hour. That would work. Based on the 200. Should be defaulted to the 200 right now. 50. You know, we can actually trade this. You can take a long right now. Your upside is 17%. My God. This is a good chart. You're tagging the lower 3.2 standard deviation of the 1/10th period with an active bullish mean reversion condition. This is textbook. Not kidding. You should take a position on this right now. Okay, XRP, ZIL, and EOS. Dude, I'm just in a long-term long on XRP. I don't know what's going to happen. The weekly chart is bullish. That's all I know. Sorry, that's it. The EOS on the daily chart on EOS is kind of interesting. So this is, micro is really muddy. Sorry, man. I don't think I can get anything from this chart right now. I'm not going to try. And then we're going to do ZIL. I'm going to be honest, I don't know what's happening with a lot of these charts. The charts are super muddy. There's no clear defined expansion. There's a lot of converse expansion happening. Like, I might try along on Matic, but other than that, I have nothing for you guys today. Hi, how will the Binance news will affect you? I'll probably just leave the country. I mean... I know that's kind of like a joke ultimatum, but I'm going to be honest. I don't really have anything keeping me here. There's nothing I can do here that I can't do anywhere else, so I'm just going to leave. Alright, folks, that's it for today. It's been a beautiful afternoon. I will talk to you all tomorrow at 1 p.m. MST. Have a good one.